There'll be Arsenal fans say, where's Bergkamp? There'll be United fans saying, where's Wayne Rooney?
Premier League all-time 11, a name that always pops up that I'm not having, and it's Steven Gerrard. I'm not having it. And the amount of Premier League all-time 11s I see him in, I pick Frank Lampard over him every day of the week. I could have named 4 or 5.
Myself.
You didn't name yourself?
No, modesty. How do you classify an all-time great? My all-time greats are Pele, Maradona, Cruyff, Ronaldo, Messi. They're my all-time greats. Oh, that's an unbelievable question. So you've got me thinking about that one.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Bets, the final third with me, Ryan Scott Douglas, and once again, I'm so delighted to say I'm here with Rangers legend, Ali McCoist.
How are you, Ryan?
I'm okay, how are you?
I'm in top form, great form.
Yes.
Looking forward to seeing you. We'll always have a lovely wee chat, don't we?
We do, we have a really good chat. Breakfast was good this morning.
Great this morning. 2 boss men are away. And by that I mean Big Brazil and Jeff. So I was sitting in the big seat the last couple of days, big seat tomorrow, and I'm enjoying it. I had Andy Townsend, who's always brilliant, yesterday, Troy, and Gabby tomorrow.
Oh, so look at that.
Got that to look forward to.
Troy and Gabby, man, I was saying it off camera.
There's a double act.
It's a good double act. I don't know. Will it ever happen? Will it, won't it? I don't know.
There's every chance it might, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Every chance.
Exactly. We've got a lot to get through. So we've got, of course, we've got the usual game, Ryan versus Ali. I know you will enjoy that. We've got a nice debate in the final third as well. But the first section here, we're calling it, well, before we get into that, I can't even get into the first section, Ali. Rangers.
Oh, man.
What a week it's been.
What a week.
Where do you start? Europe? How were your nerves during that penalty shootout?
Oh, mate, I'm going to tell you something. I was very lucky. I was doing the comms in the game. Goes to penalties. The atmosphere was absolutely unbelievable. And Jack Butler makes a couple of saves.
I know.
And it was just amazing. The place was absolutely rocking. And I was just so pleased for everybody. Obviously, domestically, it's not gone well. But wee Barry's come in and he's got the troops. A brilliant result in Turkey, first of all.
Yeah.
What a result that was.
Yeah.
Beating them 3-1. And could have been more, mate. But to come back and went through in penalties, happy days.
Yeah.
And then at the weekend, I don't know if you know, there's a Rangers Celtic game.
The old firm derby, man. Oh. And you got bragging rights in that as well. I mean, it's been a up and down season.
Of course it has.
For Rangers.
I mean, Celtic have been the best team in the country, you got to say, by a distance. However, first game of the fans back in as well.
Oh my God.
Which was brilliant. I mean, the Rangers Celtic game should always have away fans. So there was a lot of Rangers fans in the stadium. Boy, did they enjoy it, and what a winner.
Yeah.
What a winner with 2 minutes to go, 88
Absolutely
minutes.
Incredible. The celebrations as well, by the way.
Oh, it was wild. Celebrations, my couch, I can tell you, or something else.
I can imagine. I can't believe it. I don't know really what... It's difficult because it's such a huge week. What are you more proud of? Are you proud of getting the bragging rights in the old firm derby, or are you proud of getting through to the next stage in Europe?
Well, that's a great shout, that is.
It's hard.
Do you know, if I was going to be brutally honest, out the 2 games, I think the European one was... I can't believe I'm saying this.
I know. But you're right.
I think it was more important to the club.
Yeah.
I really do. I mean, the Rangers fans all around the world are going like, what is that? What is he talking about? Because it's a Rangers-Celtic game. But I just think in terms of the finance, reaching the quarter-final with the Europa League,
yeah.
But it was an added bonus, clearly, winning the game on Sunday as well.
We have the luxury of saying you did both.
Correct.
So what a week it was for Rangers. I couldn't even move into the first third there. But we're going to go. And it's a little section we're calling Ask Ali, a continuation from last week. It was so successful.
Yep.
What we've done is talkSPORT Bet have put out some tweets across social media as well saying, you send in your questions for Ali and we'll ask them.
Brilliant.
Directly to the man himself.
Brilliant.
So we've got some more. I think there's some bonkers ones in here, some hypothetical ones as always. So let's get into it. This is from Davy Dryden, 007. Oh, hello, 007.
Aye.
How do you look back at your time at Sunderland? And is it correct that you have a season ticket?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, it's a great question, Dave. I look back at my time at Sunderland with great fondness. I mean, it really was. Clearly, didn't score nearly as many goals as I had hoped. But what a place. I had a really fantastic relationship with the fans, And it's funny because Newcastle winning the cup, and I've been following Newcastle in Europe doing my work, and I like to see Newcastle do well. But I'm a Sunderland man.
Of course.
I'm putting it out there right away. A club that was really, really good to me. Fan base that were fantastic to me.
Yeah.
Still look for the results immediately.
Yeah.
And I've got a couple of season tickets for the Stadium of Light.
I can't believe that. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. I'm a Sunderland man.
Wow.
And as I say, I just love the North East. I mean, there's something wrong with me up there. I even like to see Borough doing well.
Really?
And Darlington, for that matter.
I love that
Spartans, everyone.
I
just like to see the North East teams doing well.
Yeah.
I really, really do. I just think it's a fantastic part of the world. And as I say, I'll never forget how good the fans were with me.
Oh.
And I always love getting back there.
Amazing. So with fondness then, we can summarise. The S Yachtmaster has asked, what would you have preferred to win as Rangers manager? A treble or a UEFA Cup win? Ooh.
Oh, there's a question.
Domestic treble or a UEFA Cup win?
UEFA Cup win.
Oh, really?
Tell you why. Just because there's been a few domestic trebles.
True.
Up until now, there's only been one European trophy. Cup Winners' Cup in 72. Although, we were beaten in the Cup Winners' Cup in 61, 67, 2008.
Oh, gosh.
I know. And
they're burning into your memory, those dates.
Oh, yeah. And Eintracht Frankfurt. Wow. We've lost 4.
Wow.
And won 1. I think we've lost 4 and won 1. I'll need to check that, but I'm just about convinced. So for that reason, I'd probably go for the European trophy, because domestically there's been a few trebles, although trebles not to be scoffed at.
No, of course not. But that's good. I like what you're doing there. You're raising the portfolio of the Rangers trophy cabinet.
Absolutely.
I get it. Another one here from Larkhall Racing. Would you swap winning the title in the 9-in-a-row season for winning the Champions League in the 92-93 season?
Oh, that's an unbelievable question.
Wow, what a good question. Larkhall Racing. Good question.
Larkhall Racing, you've got me thinking about that one.
What are you thinking? This is tough for you, I can see.
Oh man, that is tough. We were so close to winning that Champions League. People forget that.
I know.
We were 1 goal away from the final. Nah, 1 goal away from the final.
Oh my. It's difficult. I actually haven't seen you sweat over a question like this. It's obviously very telling how close this is.
I maybe would,
Really? You'd swap it?
I'd maybe swap it for that Champions League if we'd won it, hadn't you?
1 goal away. It sounds like, that hurt.
1 goal away from the final.
Yeah.
As it happens, it's a kind of hypothetical question, because I actually broke my leg playing for Scotland in Portugal.
Right.
Before the final. So if we'd reached the Champions League final, I'd have been devastated. Whoa, double devastated.
Of course.
Because of a broken leg. But
you still got the medal though.
I probably would have swapped it, do you know that?
Wow, that's incredible. I didn't know where you were going to go with that one.
I need to tell you right now, that's one of those questions where I might change my mind tomorrow. But I don't think it will.
You're going to be thinking about that, aren't you?
It's a great question.
Good question.
Great question.
We'll let that marinate maybe a bit further. Yeah. Brilliant question. Okay, Eddie Bow Yorkshire, has asked, did you ever get a chance to come to Leeds?
No, I never.
Never came in for you?
No, but do you know something? It's a club I really like.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons.
Yeah.
I go back in the 70s with Leeds, and they've always, back then, Scottish players all the way through their side, and they've always traditionally had great Leeds players. Recently, when they won the title, Gary Mack, my roommate, Gordon Strachan, boys like that. But going further back, Peter Lorimer, Eddie Gray. I love Eddie Gray. Eddie Gray is one of my favourite people and players of all time. Billy Bremner, Gordon McQueen, Joe Jordan, David Harvey. So there's always been a brilliant connection with great Scottish players in Leeds. Never the opportunity. Obviously, we had 2 fantastic games in them where we beat them home and away. The Champions League that year we're talking about, 92, 93. So in answer to the question, no, but it's a club for obvious reasons I've got an affinity with.
Oh, there you go. Very, very niche question from him. He's obviously dreaming that it would have happened one day. Fair play to him. I think a lot of clubs are in the same boat. I've got a few more for you here.
Lovely.
That the talkSPORT bet team have put together for you.
Excellent.
Okay. So these get a bit crazy. So you have to pick one player to take a penalty to save your life.
Yeah.
Who would you pick to take that penalty?
Easy.
But
easy.
Here's the caveat.
It can't be me.
You have. That's brilliant though. Would you back yourself? Is that what you were going to say? Oh, I love that.
I'm taking it all day.
Wow, I love that.
I'm taking it all day.
But the caveat is, you have to choose a player you've played with. Which player would you choose to take a penalty to save your life?
Davy Cooper, the late, great Davy Cooper.
Really?
Yeah.
What, in-game, in training, what was it about the penalty taking that?
Well, he took one of the most pressurised penalties I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
In tragic circumstances. It was the night Big Jock Stein passed away. You might not know this because you're obviously younger.
No.
Davy took a penalty in Cardiff against Wales for Scotland. And effectively, he scores the penalty, we go to the World Cup. If he doesn't score the penalty, we don't go to the World Cup. That's how important it was. And Davy scored the penalty.
Do you remember where he put it?
Yeah.
Go on.
I do remember it. But I'm convinced Neville Southall was in goals and he comes back across himself. And Neville might have got a hand to it.
Ooh.
But anyway, it went in. He made it. I also remember him taking a penalty against Celtic, cup final, just slides it by Big Pat Bonner. Yeah, I mean, Davy could handle pressure, like you've no idea. Sadly, no longer with us, tragically taken too early. So, first answer to the question is me. I would take the responsibility myself, failing that, coup.
Oh, I love that. So your life's in good hands then,
Yes.
Let's put it that way.
Great question.
Good question, that, eh? Not bad at all. And we've got another one here. What's the most enjoyable match you've done punditry or commentary on?
Cool.
God, that's so difficult because you've done so many.
It is, however.
You got one?
Aye.
Go on.
World Cup final.
Oh, yeah.
Argentina, France.
Yeah. Messi
Please.
versus Mbappe.
Oh, man alive. What a game of football. People forget, funny Ryan, it took a while to get going, the game. It genuinely took a little bit of while to get going. The game didn't really get going till start of the second
They were
half.
feeling each other out a little bit, weren't they, at first?
And Argentina were a better side for, I think, the initial period in that game. And then, bang.
Incredible.
The game just ignited. Mbappe.
It's the Mbappe
Messi.
one when it goes over. When it goes over the top and he kind of strikes it on a volley. Oh my gosh!
What a hit.
I couldn't believe it.
Nah,
a player
brilliant.
that like just
Pardon me, it's one of those games where you're actually pinching yourself.
Yeah.
That you're lucky to be there and you believe in what you're seeing.
Yeah.
So, as I said, I've been really fortunate. Some of the games, and as the guys and the girls out there will know, I love it. I'm blessed, absolutely blessed to do what I do, and I love all the games.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed Tamworth versus Tottenham in the Cup.
Yeah.
I love going to these places. But in terms of drama, spectacle, the importance of the game, that World Cup final, mate.
Incredible answer, do you know? And it's nice that our World Cup finals actually live to the name of the greatest stage of them all, because it's not always the case. And I know that about you, loving what you do, by the way, because I've never heard you complain, despite all the travelling you do. So incredible. Here's a really hot topic one. I'm looking forward to asking you this.
Yes.
Who would you rather have play in your team, Bruno Fernandes or Odegaard? And I'm going to give you two perspectives as a player and as a manager. Who would you rather have in your team? This is a good one.
As a player,
Ali McCoist up front.
I'm going to go for Fernandes.
Yeah. It pleases me to hear you say that. Because I would say that as well.
As a manager, I'd maybe go for Odegaard.
Oof. That's interesting. Why? What?
Because I think Fernandes, sometimes for whatever reason, his antics would frustrate me.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of hands up in the air and toys at the pram to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas I think Odegaard clearly would give you very less problems, if any problems at all. But if I'm a player, I think Fernandes is going to score more goals.
Yeah.
He's certainly going to score more important goals in my team as a teammate.
And he's going to create you chances.
And he's going to create me chances. I mean, it's a heck of a question. There's no wrong answer to it.
No.
Both incredibly talented. But I just keep thinking to myself, you know, United not having a great period at this moment in time, but the one steadfast certainty is Fernandes.
I'm telling you, you're preaching to the choir. I could go off on Bruno for ages. I go as far as saying he's a legend for you.
And
go on.
And it's probably influenced me a little bit. I was in Portugal last year.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
On holiday, sitting at the table with my boys on a nice meal, and my oldest boy went to the toilet,
Yeah.
and he came back, and he said, "Look at that." He had a photograph taken with Bruno Fernandes.
No.
Who he said, and I looked at him like that because I don't like him going up, annoying him, particularly when he's on holiday with his family.
Yeah, yeah.
And he said no, he was in the toilet and he was as nice as ninepence, no problem at all. Photograph, and I thought, good lad.
Oh, nice.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like guys that've got time for the people.
Humble, down to earth.
Yeah.
Wow, well, that tips it for you then. The Bruno photo. Okay, look, you preached it quite. I love it. Last one here, a very hypothetical one because we're going to put you in goal, so get your goalkeeping gloves on. If you were in goal, would you rather face a one-on-one from Thierry Henry or a header from Alan Shearer? What are you more capable of saving out of those two, do you think?
Shearer's header.
More capable of saving it? Fancy yourself.
I think I'm probably capable of saving the two of them right now.
We never saw you in goal, did we?
No.
It's a shame.
Maybe back in the day. I think Shearer's header, and I'll tell you why. I just think I've got a better chance of saving a Shearer header because I think if Henry's coming through in a 1v1,
You're done for.
I think he knocks it by me, knocks it into an empty net.
You're done for.
Yeah, so I'm giving myself a minimal chance of saving a Shearer header.
You catch the Shearer header. I'm backing you.
I'm getting up, I'm tipping over the bar.
Bang, yeah, exactly. Yeah, one for the cameras. Love it. Okay, we've reached the second third of the show, which is, of course, Ryon versus Ali. Everyone's favourite part of the show. Ali's favourite part of the show as well. We get quite competitive, don't we?
We do.
I don't know where we are in the series. I'd say we probably won the same amount of games from memory, but I don't know. Yeah. Maybe I'm edging it. Maybe I'm being biased. I'm not sure.
No, I think you've been slightly biased, but carry on.
I actually don't know. But here we go. We've got. We don't have a name for this game, but essentially what we're going to do is I'm going to give you a topic. I don't know what the topic is either. So it's all football related, but I'm just going to use the example of chocolate bars, for example. Yes. And the topic would be name as many chocolate bars as you can within 30 seconds.
Oh, excellent.
Okay? So you will be...
I could give you a few of them. As you can imagine, I can give you a few.
Listen, fair enough. What we'll do here is you bid and I bid. So you'll say, I can name 10 chocolates, I can name 11, you can name 12. And if you don't think that you can name them, and you say, right, then name 12.
On you go.
Yeah, on you go.
Love it. Love it.
So, here we go. Can we get it's going to be on the screen. I've not seen the topics, of course.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Okay,
I'm sure. Name as many teams that have played in the Premier League as you can in 30 seconds. Whew.
Did I go first?
Well, we'll bid each other. So how many do you think you can name in 30 seconds?
I'm not messing about here.
Oh, gosh.
I'll give you 15.
15 in 30 seconds? One every 2 seconds. Quick math. I'm going to say I can name... I'm going to raise you. I'm going to say I can name 18. Can you name more than that?
Yeah, I can.
Go on.
19.
Oh, he's just edged me. 19. I can name 20. I could definitely name 20.
In 30 seconds?
Yeah. With a 10-second grace, I think I can name 20. Because it's 20 right now. Can you do more than 20?
21.
Right, on you go. Right, when are we going to start this 30 seconds?
Con me now.
Let me know.
21.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Liverpool, Everton, Manchester United, Man City, Spurs, Chelsea, Arsenal, Fulham, Crystal Palace, Brighton, Bournemouth, Brentford, said West Ham, Ipswich, Leicester, Southampton, Leeds, Sunderland, Newcastle, Middlesbrough.
10 seconds.
Brighton, Crystal Palace, Watford.
Time's
Chelsea.
up. Oh, he said Chelsea. We need the scores in here. He got it on the buzzer.
I know.
26 he named.
Oh, yeah.
He named 26. That's incredible.
Yes.
You didn't even need the buzzer one.
No.
Wow, that's really good, you know.
I'm happy with
I
that.
thought you'd got in your own head at one point.
I had a wobbler. I had in my head I was going to start with London because there was 7 or 8 in London right away.
Yeah.
I think did I miss anybody in London?
I don't know. You said Fulham, you said Palace, you said
Chelsea,
Arsenal, Spurs.
Yeah.
You could have said Coventry, Derby, Blackpool, apparently I'm hearing. Obviously not London. So there's a few, but you did well.
Thank you.
Well done. Point to Ali.
Thank you very much.
As we get the next topic, please. That was good.
Good one.
Put the pressure on. Oh my God. I'm finished here. How many league phase Champions League teams can you name in 30 seconds? Right. I'm going to start with a gentleman's 8.
Oh, come on, 8. Not even messing about with 8. Is it this year or any year?
This year in the league phase.
This year?
Yeah.
10.
I can name 11. I can name 11. For sure I can name 11. It's up to you now whether you want to raise me, because then you're going to put pressure on yourself.
12.
It's 12 Champions League phase. Champions League phase. Oh, I'm going to go 13.
Let me hear them.
Right.
Let me hear them.
I didn't want him to do that. I was trying to bait you into doing a bit more. Okay, you let me know when I need to go. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Bayern Munich, Bayer Leverkusen, Manchester City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid. Now I'm struggling. PSG. Oh, no, don't do this. PSG. Who are they? Dortmund. That's 10. I've got 10 seconds left. I'm done for, Ali. I'm looking in your eyes. I'm telling you, I'm done for. Celtic. How many was that?
11.
And I needed 12.
You beat?
I'm beat. I needed 12 and I got 11.
Did you say Inter Milan or AC
Oh,
Milan?
I hate Inter. Do you know, I was going through the leagues and I'm thinking there's a major league I'm missing here. And it was
Inter
Italy.
Milan, AC Milan. Who else was there? Bruges. Villa.
Jesus. How could I...
Do you know, if it's any consolation, I think I might even have got 13, because I would have got the 8 left just now.
Yeah.
I'd have went back to the quarterfinals.
Do you know what?
I'd have got Celtic. I'd have thrown in Young Boys. All that.
Young Boys.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I was naming teams in my head and I was thinking, I know they're Europa League, because there's a couple of big names in the Europa League this season.
Oh, absolutely.
So there you go, 2-0 it is apparently. So I can only draw now, I think. Right.
I like it.
We'll get the next topic. How many players with 100 Premier League goals can you name in 30 seconds? Okay. Feel a bit more comfortable with this one now. How many is there? That's the real question.
That is.
Because there's 34 possible answers, I'm being told. 34. 34 people have got more than 100 league goals, Premier League goals. Well, there's a few then. There's a few.
No chances of 34.
Can't be 34, can there? I don't know. I'm being told there's 34. But I don't know. There is 34. 100%. I'm being 100%. So I disbelieve. So with that being said, I'm going to start bidding off with 10.
11.
12.
13.
14.
You're on.
Okay. 14.
I can't believe it's 34.
I can't believe it either. Okay, Alan Shearer, Harry Kane, Sergio Aguero, Wayne Rooney, Frank Lampard, Andy Cole, Mo Salah, said Lampard, said Gerrard, Ruud van Nistelrooy, don't know, I'm going to chuck him out there. I'm going to say, damn, Ryan Giggs and Paul Scholes, don't know, going to say him. Thierry Henry, Didier Drogba, Adebayor, Jermaine Defoe. Right.
I've got to say, that was agony watching you there.
Can you name, have I missed some glaringly obvious ones?
Well, not to my knowledge. Defoe was a great late shout.
That was the buzzer.
Ian Wright's one I would have mentioned.
Ian Wright, good one.
Did you say Thierry Henry?
Said Thierry, said Kane, said Aguero, said Rooney. 34.
Sheringham.
Yeah, that's a good one. I got 12 and I needed 14. Oh, this is just
wow,
an absolute
mate.
whitewash. So who did I say? Ruud van Nistelrooy never got 100. That is... Well, here we are. We're learning things. I should know that, really, but I'd have just thought.
That was tough.
Yeah.
That was tough.
Tough one. Right.
Yeah.
Right. One more to go. You've won.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
3-0.
Yep.
So this is for pride. Oh, come on. Oh, come on with this question. How many permanent Rangers managers can you name in 30 seconds? This is going to be my first ever whitewash.
No.
For sure. For sure, this is going to be a 4-0. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right.
I reckon I could comfortably go 5, and I don't think you'll get 6.
No. I can go.
I'm going to be fair with you here.
I can go 4, and you can. So I know I can go 4.
I'll easily get 5. Right. Easily. So you're going to have to go...
Don't do me here, Annie. Don't do me in here, because I'm going to raise the stakes for the purpose of the viewers and say I can name 7.
Right.
Can you name 8? Because if you tell me to do 7 here, we're done for. Surely you can name 8. You're only the all-time top goal scorer.
I'll go for 8. Come on.
Yeah? 8.
Yeah.
I did it. I baited him in. 8 Rangers managers. You tell me when to go. I'm going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
William Wilton, Bill Struth, Walter Smith, Graham Souness, John Gregg, Davy White, Jock Wallace, Scott Simon, Willie Waddle. Many's that?
That's 9 already, and that was 15 seconds gone. He's done it. Do you know what? Well done. That question, I'm going to have the talkSPORT bet content team for that one.
To be fair, I was.
You were battering me.
Heavy
anyway.
favourite to win that
Battering me anyway. But so Steven Gerrard had have gone.
Yes. I didn't even mention Steven.
Didn't mention Steven Gerrard.
No. And then there was Pedro Caixinha.
McLeish.
Yes, Alec McLeish. Dick Advocat.
I just said Souness.
Dick Advocat.
Yeah.
Philippe Clement.
Yeah. So I could have named 4 or 5.
Myself.
You didn't name yourself.
No, modesty.
You was holding one back. You were waiting for the buzzer. Look, you've whitewashed me. I'm going to give you a handshake.
Thank you, my friend.
Fair enough. 4-0. And I'm just going to eat some humble pie now. There we go. Okay, here we are. We've reached it, the final third of the show, which is, of course, the great debate. Now, I don't mind telling you, I'm looking forward to this segment as always. The last debate that we had here, do former Man United players put pressure on current crop? Wow, Ali. Wow.
What a reaction, eh?
The reaction was incredible.
Brilliant.
It was fantastic. Yeah. And it did exactly what I wanted to do, is, cause conversation.
Created conversation.
Which is what it's all about. Yeah. And it started off quite heavily in one corner, but then a lot of comments started coming through, agreeing with the other corner. So here we are, once again, with another topic. And this is another juicy one. So I'm going to hit you with it straight away.
Right.
Do you need to win trophies to be considered an elite / all-time great player? It's an age-old debate, really, because there's some names in here that we can chuck around for different contexts. I'm going to throw one at you, okay? One of the best strikers I think we could acknowledge, in the world at the moment, Harry Kane.
Harry Kane.
But in terms of his Premier League legacy, and he scored a lot of goals in the Premier League, I, for one, wouldn't have him in the Premier League all-time 11. In fact, I'd go as far as saying he's not in a conversation. And the reason why I'd say he's not in a conversation is because he's never won a Premier League. In fact, he's never won a trophy. So I think Harry Kane, for example, is case in point. Yes, he's going to break his duck now in a Bundesliga, but I can acknowledge he's a great player and a fantastic striker, but I can't acknowledge him as a Premier League all-time great, for example. Would you agree with that?
Disagree.
Okay.
I think if you're top scorer for England, you've got to come into the all-time great category.
Okay.
I mean, and that's exactly what he is.
Yeah.
And if he hadn't moved from Tottenham, he could quite possibly have been the only man ever to catch Alan Shearer. Right? So the same argument, is Alan Shearer an all-time great? I think he is.
I think he is.
Now, I know he won the title and Harry hasn't won the title, but Harry will win the title in, obviously in Germany this year, Bundesliga. Where I take your point, how do you classify an all-time great? My all-time greats,
Okay, let's do that.
Are Pele, Maradona, Cruyff, Ronaldo, Messi. They're my all-time greats.
Yeah, and the one thing I'll say about them, that goes across the board, they've all won a major trophy.
Yes.
They won the World Cup.
Correct. No? Yes, I do take your point. So I'm possibly contradicting myself on that, but I get it. Elite players.
Yeah.
I think there's a gap between elite players and all-time greats.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Is it the trophies that tips it over?
It certainly helps. I don't think it's a be-all and end-all. It just so happens, I'm not sure I can come up with any all-time greats that haven't won anything.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because generally speaking, all-time greats do win things.
Yeah.
However, elite players, I'm not sure I've got Harry. Well, I am. If I'm playing three forwards, my all-time Premier League team,
Yeah.
Harry Kane, I don't think he's getting in it.
But why though? Who makes it ahead of you?
Mo Salah's not getting in it.
Oh wow, no Mo Salah.
Now,
That's a hot topic.
Some Liverpool fans will have Mo Salah as an all-time great.
Yes.
Who am I to say he's not?
Yeah.
But just for example, where it's a conversation, my front three, I'd have Shearer through the middle.
Of course, yeah,
Right?
fair, yeah.
Because his stats as a centre forward are incomparable with anybody's.
And you compare it with a Premier League title, by the way.
Correct. And he scored more goals in the Premier League. I don't mean, I think it's 30 more than second place, over 30.
Yeah.
And I'm playing Thierry Henry on one side,
Yeah, of course.
and I'm playing Ronaldo on the other.
Yes.
So, but there'll be Liverpool fans out there saying Salah has to play. There'll be Chelsea fans saying Drogba must play through the middle.
Yeah.
You know, there'll be Arsenal fans saying, where's Bergkamp? There'll be United fans saying, where's Wayne Rooney?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And it's a brilliant discussion and it's a brilliant argument.
Yeah.
Because you could pick yours and it could be three completely different players from mine.
Yeah.
But if I'm just talking all-time greats, those three are all-time greats. You can argue that certainly two or three of them are certainly, in my opinion, all-time great. They're certainly elite.
Oh, I would
They're
consider
absolutely elite.
I'd consider them all-time greats. And you look at Cristiano Ronaldo over Salah.
Yeah.
He won a Ballon d'Or in the Premier League for Manchester United that season, a Champions League, a Premier League. So again, for me, it's the accolades and the trophies they get with it. I mean, you won trophies and individual accolades as well. So you're always in the conversations for great, European strikers. I'm going to move away from strikers, actually. It's popped into my head now. Premier League all-time 11, a name that always pops up that I'm not having, and it's Steven Gerrard. I'm not having it. And the amount of Premier League all-time 11s I see him in, I pick Frank Lampard over him every day of the week because he spearheaded, guided Chelsea to Premier League titles.
This is a great argument. It's a great argument.
How can Gerrard be in an all-time Premier League 11 when he's never won a Premier League? How can he?
Because he carried that team.
Carried them to...
Listen, I played, I'll give you an example. I played against a lad at Celtic called Paul McStay. At the time where we were dominating Scottish football, right? Paul McStay could have left Celtic, but he didn't. He was a Celtic man, and I've got unbelievable respect for him.
Yeah.
And there was times we were thinking, we were dominant, but he absolutely epitomised what you would want in a top player that you're playing against. Now, could he have moved? Yes. Could have gone to Italy? Yes. Could have gone to England? Yes. And he probably achieved a little bit more. But he was playing for the club that he loved and wanted to play for. Shearer went to Newcastle, played for the club, could have gone to Man United, he didn't, played for the club, was great. Gerrard's the exact same.
Yeah.
I'll bet you asked Gerrard a question, would you rather go anywhere else and won the league?
Yeah.
And he'd have went, no. Because he was playing for the club he loved. And sometimes people, you get caught up a little bit in it, and it maybe devalues their value, which it shouldn't.
Yeah.
So the debate for me isn't about Lampard's in the team or Scholes is in the team before Gerrard because they won something.
Yeah.
My argument is if you think they're a better player or better value at the team, yes. But I don't think you can leave Gerrard out an all-time Premier League team just because he hasn't won it.
See, this is where it's interesting.
You know what I mean?
I'm taking that point on board.
I think Gerrard was an unbelievable player.
Yeah.
He had the whole lot. Could score goals, he could get up and down, he could tackle, he was a leader.
Yeah.
Scholes had different qualities.
Yeah.
Unbelievable football player. Lampard scored over 100 goals.
Ridiculous.
Top scorer at Chelsea for the middle of the park.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Scored important goals. So everybody is going to have a little bit of
an argument,
differing opinion on it.
Yeah.
But my argument is, you can be an elite player, right? Definitely.
Yeah.
Without winning anything. I'm not sure, where I do take your point, I'm not sure if you're an all-time great if you don't win anything.
Oh, it's tough. Yeah. I like that. I like that because you've segregated the two. Elite and all-time great are two different things. So
I think all-time great
is
an upgrade up from elite.
And for me, trophies have to be involved in that. So I'm taking your point on board. I'm taking your point on board.
You're saying you've got to win trophies.
I'm saying, bearing in mind everything you've said, and we'll have to wrap up it shortly. I'm saying, to summarise, I'm hearing you. There's definitely a segregation there between elite and all-time great. However, all-time greatest Premier League 11, Gerrard for me doesn't even enter the conversation. No. I'm putting Scholes and Lampard over him because the debate is already how good all three of them were. Could they have done a job in the other team? Yes, but you get the accolades, and in some seasons, both of those other players in Lampard and Scholes dragged them across. And I know Gerrard carried that Liverpool team, but carried them to second place at best. So difficult.
I'll tell you who I'm throwing into the equation as well.
Go on.
I mean, Bergkamp. Honest to God.
Unbelievable.
Bergkamp might be one of the most intelligent football players I ever played against and watched.
Yeah.
You know,
I know.
Completely different to Henry, completely different to Shearer, or Rooney, or even Ronaldo, but just an intelligence.
Not been a player like him. He was elegant.
He was like almost like a professor playing football. Do you know what I mean?
He was, and in some conversations he may get snubbed out of it. You know,
I know.
It's difficult. Have I changed your mind? Do you have to win trophies? That's where we're going to end.
You have to win trophies to be an all-time great, but you don't have to win trophies to be elite.
Oh, there we go. It's been summarised. Do you agree with Ali McCoist, or do you agree with me? Where are you? Leave your comments. I know that you will. And thanks again for joining us on another episode of The Final Third. I've been Ryan Scott Douglas, and he's been Ali McCoist.
I certainly have. I've loved it.